The starting point of street art was really sort of the 1970s, more or less, in New York, Philadelphia, the sort of graffiti. Street art is slightly different, and this is more artistic, quite frankly, but it's often known as sort of post-graffiti. But this is why people came here. They knew this was a sort of an artistic area, and from that moment, really, the area is developed. Now, of course, it's hardly poor. It's got some of the most expensive, extortionate rents in the whole city, and it's a cultural hub for lots of creative people and lots of technological people. I just want to show you this. Back in 2008, this is the Tate Modern, in case you might recognise it. But this was really the moment where sort of street art became sort of, if you like, the rest of the art world sort of appropriated it. It was on the Tate Modern, and they had these huge pieces outside, and they had a piece on street art, and this was the moment really that people sort of took notice of this movement, and it sort of was going overground, if you like. But that's enough of the background. I think we should actually go on and actually see some of the work that is available. Yeah, this artist is Stick. He is one of the most distinctive. I remember someone earlier saying that there's a lot of similarities between street art. I think this one is very, very distinctive. He's certainly one of my favourite. And it is, certainly simple. It's 6 lines and 2 dots. All of his characters are drawn like that, but he gets an incredible amount of character out of what is essentially a very, very simple style. Another thing that's very key to all his work is he never has the characters never have mouths. Basically, they are people without a voice. Stick himself was homeless at one stage, so he is sort of always trying to represent people at the margins of society, people who've been pushed to the margins of society and don't have a stake in society. And of course, this is bearing in mind what I was saying about this being a Bangladeshi area, obviously a very Muslim area with a lot of rules about relationships and that kind of thing. Obviously, this could be viewed as quite a sort of controversial piece. Sort of public display of affection. But the point is that this has been here for, I don't know, maybe 4 years. I would be stunned if this got painted over. I was saying earlier in the day that, we never know what's going to stay, what's going to go. I would be stunned if this disappeared. He is actually becoming more and more famous. He's done a huge amount of work with homeless people and helping them sort of express themselves through art. And that, to me, is probably one of the most significant pieces of work that he has done. This is by a Belgian artist called Roa, and as soon as you all walk around the corner, you're all immediately drawn to it. This is certainly one of the most famous pieces in East London, and it will basically never be painted over. It is absolutely phenomenal what he's been able to do here. Roa, all of Roa's pieces are made to look as though he's drawing biro on a piece of paper. That's the style he's going for. And you look at the tremendous detail. I mean, he is painting over drain pipes. He's painting on brickwork. It is a phenomenal achievement. Essentially, this took him 8 hours to do. On a cherry picker, he went up in it, white emulsion, and then painted over the top of it. But the other great thing about Roa, I mean, I think a lot of people, you have the idea of street artists, graffiti artists being quite a sort of an aggressive art form about sort of reclaiming the streets, that kind of thing. Yes, of course, there is that element to it, but actually a lot of street artists have got a real heart and a real soul. The great thing about Roa is he was talking about painting, and again, the guy who owns this Indian restaurant has done fantastically well out of it, because obviously this is a major area that he comes to. But a lot of the time, obviously, you'll notice that this is quite a sort of a rundown area. You'll also notice how many other bits of artwork there are here, and this will often happen. And you get a fantastic piece like this, other artists will come and obviously want to be connected with it. But Roa does a huge amount of his work on buildings that are about to be demolished, and as I say, it's always animals. And his idea is that once the building is demolished, it's like the animal's gone to sleep. So that's a very nice sort of sweet way that he, that's his take on it. But it's absolutely phenomenal. And there's some more Roa that we're going to see later. But yeah, he's a Belgian artist, and yeah, I mean, it is just absolutely stunning. I mean, if you want to take some pictures around here, there's a Banksy piece here. As you can see, it says this wall is a designated graffiti area, obviously with a little poodle. But again, the other thing that's really noticeable about it is behind a bit of perspex. Banksy, again, one of those few artists that does get that sort of, that extra special treatment. Is it needed? I'm not so sure. You know, why should that get it beyond all others? But obviously, that's that little bit of kudos for Cargo. Forgot the name of the place. You know, to have a Banksy there, and that'll be there for forevermore. But again, you know, by order of National Highways Agency, all of his stuff, of course, is anti-establishment. He's always playing with that idea. That hence there is a policeman on there. But if you even though he himself says he's not political, I would disagree with that.
Yeah.
He's a very political
Yeah.
person. But I guess he doesn't want to say he's political, so he doesn't get bogged down that way.
Yeah.